Today is 26th May, Saturday, 2012. We're having Swami Amarananda at our place at 19 Shumak, the Columbet in Geneva, and a small group of people interested to ask him a few questions on spirituality, religion and related subjects.
In what ways can one resist the downward pull of the mind?
Downward pull of the mind is a very normal thing. It is mainly, the reason main is this, that our mind wants to get back to the state where it normally remains. So to nullify that downward trend, what we require is to have good samskaras as much as possible. You see. So they nullify in a very natural way our negative samskaras. You understand what is samskara? So that is the main thing. So everyone knows what are especially the spiritual aspirants, they know how to make good samskaras. That means the minimum, the things which are taught, especially in the order of Ramakrishna. These are japa, meditation, more japa and a little less meditation in the beginning, because if you do much more in the beginning with the willpower, it has got a negative effect because your mind is not prepared for that. So much of japa, a little meditation, a little reading with reflection, and then you say doing your duties in a way so that you see you do not have to foul with your conscience, with the dictates of the conscience. That's all. Yes?
Loud.
How to have the concentration when you're doing japa? So when I started doing something, my mind, it goes to so many places and I couldn't concentrate on one thing.
It is not your problem, it is a universal problem. It is a universal problem, but there is a way to tackle it. Way to tackle it is that you should not be disturbed by this, but should confront this. How to confront this? First of all, for example, in the beginning, you see, when you are doing japa, it is for the persons who are not much habituated to it. That means it has not entered into their conditioned reflex. You understand what is conditioned reflex?
No.
Conditioned reflex is, for example, you are eating, you are taking bath, etc. Normally, you see, there is a body clock and the whole system is habituated to this. You see, you need not be reminded about your food because there is a mechanism here in your system which will make you remind. You see, all these things. You see, and you see, of course, hunger is another thing, but the daily things, for example, washing your teeth, taking bath, etc. Since we are doing it at a certain hour, regularly, almost every day, so you are automatically, you see, the whole system is prepared for that. Even for your major food, etc. If you are taking a certain, for example, in the breakfast, you see, certain items, you see, you will need that item. In fact, if you change it too much, that is also bad for the body because the enzymes in the body, they are not prepared for those kind of things. You see. So similarly, when you are doing japa, and by doing japa with all these unsuccessful sessions of japa, even with that you make a habit. Then what happens, you see, still then there will be this distractions. But then what you do, you should engage several things. First of all, in the beginning, what they say, that means the Vaikhari type of japa you should do. That means when you are alone, you should be able to hear your japa. That is number one. Number two, you should find your own good rhythm of japa. You should not be tremendously fast, then it becomes mechanical totally, and it has got very little effect then. And it should not be too slow, then other thoughts will come in. So you must find out your good rhythm, and then you should continue it, you see, in that rhythm for the time which is good for you, you see. So these things, when you do it like that, you see, and then certain times to increase the concentration, you can also, for example, along with this japa, you can also visualize your japa.
Visualize the murti or visualize?
Visualize the murti is very good if you can do it. If you can do it, the visualizing the murti by murti, you mean the murti of the devata linked with the mantra. That is very good. There are people who are not able to do it. For them, it is easier to visualize the mantra. You see, so the mind gets, you see, pegged to various things which are aligned. So this is the way you have to do it. And then, when you practice it, for sometimes in the beginning it may be a little like task, but afterwards it becomes a great help because it enters into your this system. It becomes a part of the reflex. So whenever you have not only, you see, normally people, you say, think of extra spiritual activity when they are in trouble. But without this, also you can do it, you see, then you will have the great benefit, you see. For example, when you are getting up, the first moment when you are getting up, you see, at that moment you should begin japa for a time, at least 1 minute, you see. It has a tremendous effect. You have not begun your day, just you have woken up, you see. You begin your japa, you see. You are alone in buses, in trams, instead of thinking other things, you can do japa, you see. So when you begin to have things like that, it has a tremendous effect because life will have problems. It is inevitable in any life. There will be problems. It helps you a lot for your psychological balance, not only for the psychological balance, thereby you get also the benefit of good judgments because your mind is calm. So that is also a great thing. You see. And of course, when you continue like this the whole life, the greatest distress of life is the termination of life. Because you are habituated to this life, you have programs, you are planning, and now you are putting everything to an end. And that you will be able to do happily and voluntarily. So these are the things of japa. It has a tremendous, you see. That's why it has been, and not only that, you see, there have been saints who attained perfection only through japa. Of course, their japa was of much quality,